I think our foreign policy should be strategic, not tactical. And in essence, I think too much of the foreign policy today around the world, not just the U.S., is determined simply on tactics. I think it needs to be strategic. And the strategic vision of the United States should have in foreign policy is first and foremost to act in defense of our security and our safety. Second, in the promotion of our values around the world, including the values of free enterprise, the values of freedom of speech and freedom and liberty to live as one chooses. These are the values that I think we should promote, and then I think we should look for ways to use the power of the United States to convene like-minded nations like the UK to work with us to achieve this in every corner of the world.
Let's talk about the United Kingdom. Let's talk about France and Germany, three key allies and partners who've been involved in talks with Iran alongside the United States, Russia and China. The product of those talks is now well known. It was a deal, at least a 6-month interim deal, which hopefully will lead to something more lasting, in which Iran will curb its nuclear program and ambitions. The United States likes the deal, at least the Obama administration likes the deal. The UK likes the deal. The French and the Germans like the deal. You, Senator Marco Rubio, do not like the deal.
Well, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope that, in fact, Iran is headed into a direction where they do want to become a productive member of the global order and not necessarily pursue these nuclear weapons or their regional ambitions. So I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Well, why are you trying to sabotage it then?
Well,
because you said, in the wake of the deal, there's an even more urgent need for the Congress to increase sanctions until Iran completely abandons.
And that's exactly my point. Here's my conclusion. While I hope that I'm wrong, I don't think that I am, and here's why. Iran continues to be an active state sponsor of terrorism. They use terrorism as a tool of statecraft. And they tried to assassinate the Saudi ambassador in Washington, D.C., for example. And that is a long series of other terrorist actions that they've taken. They continue to develop their long-range missile capabilities, which you don't build those capabilities to deliver a conventional warhead. They continue to accelerate their nuclear capabilities. You look at where they were just 3 years ago compared to where they are now.
Yeah, but the whole point of the deal is that acceleration stops.
Well, my problem
and
with the deal.
Indeed, there is a real freeze in key activities. For example, the heavy water reactor at Arak.
But they still
construction
retain,
will
but
stop.
they still retain all of the critical infrastructure that's necessary to break out one day. And my real criticism, not just of the deal, but of this general approach, is that I believe that Iran is following the same model that North Korea followed, and that is they use negotiations to try to alleviate sanctions and buy time, but never agree to irreversible concessions that one day they could not simply break out if they wanted to.
Senator, my
and I'm convinced that they will.